Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into how to build trust and, well, influence.
hmm We're drawing on some insights from a speaker who really gets into the science of selling based on a transcript we looked at.
Right. And our mission here is really to pull out those core principles for, quickly building trust.
Stuff you can use anywhere, really.
Exactly. Not just sales. We want to give you some actionable ideas from this material.
Okay, so the starting point, according to the speaker, is rapport.
Rapport, right. That initial connection.
And it's built on perception.
Yeah.
Specifically, the perception of similarity.
Similarity. So we like people who seem like us.
Basically, yeah. We naturally connect more easily. Finding that common ground is key, initially.
Okay. But let's dig a bit deeper. The speaker argues there's something even more powerful than just, surface similarities. And that's focusing on the other person's best interests.
Oh, yes. That's crucial.
If you genuinely show someone you care about what's actually good for them, not just you, well, trust follows fast.
It has to be genuine, though, right? Not just a trick.
Exactly. It's authentic care. That's the fastest way to build that implicit trust, the speaker suggests.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a great little story the speaker uses to illustrate this from Circuit City, I think.
Oh, yeah, the VCR story.
Right. So picture this. The speaker's there looking at a pretty cheap VCR, like $69, ready to buy it.
Seems like an easy sale, right?
You'd think. But then the salesperson, who you know is probably incentivized, kind of looks around.
Leans in conspiratorially.
Yeah. And says something like, hey, just so you know, that one's coming back a lot.
Wow. Okay.
Boom. Right there. Instant trust.
Because suddenly the salesperson isn't just selling.
Exactly. Even with their own targets, that little warning, that focus on saving the listener from a hassle, it just completely changed the game.
It's shifted the whole dynamic. Suddenly they're on your side.
That's the power of demonstrating you're prioritizing their well-being. That Circuit City example really nails it.
Okay, so showing you genuinely care is foundational. Huge. But the speaker points out that's not quite enough for real influence, is it?
No, you need more. It's about hitting both logic and emotion.
Which is interesting because so often people lean too hard one way or the other, right?
Totally. You get the super logical types just throwing data and facts at you.
Hoping reason will win out.
Or you get the purely emotional pitch trying to, tug at the heartstrings without much substance.
But the most effective communication, whether it's sales or just convincing a colleague, it needs both.
It absolutely needs both. The speaker is very clear on this.
So if we tie this all together, what's the main idea for crafting a message that actually works?
Well, the message needs to appeal to the need to. That's the logical side. Why does this make sense for them? How is it in their best interest?
Okay, the logic, the best interest part.
But crucially, it also has to create a want to. That's the emotional desire.
So it connects back. The logic supports the best interest idea we talked about.
Exactly. Which builds on that rapport, that feeling of shared interest in their well-being.
And then the emotion provides the actual motivation, the desire.
That's the combination. Logic and emotion.
Okay.
Need to and want to. That's where the persuasive power really is, according to this source.
Okay, great. So let's quickly recap this deep dive then. Building trust fast comes down to genuinely showing you're focused on the other person's best interests.
Oh, that's the core.
And then, to make your communication truly influential, you need to balance that message, appeal to their logic, and create that emotional connection.
Precisely. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you, the listener.
Go on.
How could you start consciously applying these ideas? Really focusing on the other person's true best interests and then thinking about how you frame things to connect logically and emotionally.
How might that change your interactions day to day?
Yeah. Could it build stronger connections? Maybe give you a bit more positive influence? It's about shifting focus from just your own goals to really considering the other person. Something to think about.